I would like to welcome everybody back to another episode of the Raider Critique. Now, this is not the episode that I was promising everyone, because the only reason why I'm doing this episode is because of the news that has just happened, which happened today on the 15th of October. So I would like to actually go over that, but first I would like to play the reason why I'm doing this video, which is Jon Gruden's press conference. So let's hop into the intro, which happens to be new, by the way, and then we're going to go ahead and listen to the 15-minute segment of Jon Gruden's press conference, and then we're going to go to the over the cap and go and look and crunch some numbers down. So let's go ahead and get this started.
Quick update, some of our injuries here in a second. I do have one roster announcement. We have released Derrick Johnson, and we have signed Jason Kabinda from our practice squad. I'd like to, again, thank Derrick Johnson. I talked to him last night. Obviously, it's a very tough decision for us. He did a great job coming in here and giving us some leadership, but we've made that roster change. And we certainly wish Derrick Johnson the best. As far as injuries go, Frosty Rucker is improving. He has a neck strain. We hope to have him back for the Colt game. Coleccio Semele making improvements. We're optimistic, but we'll update you next week on his knee. Joseph is improving. He was close. We were hoping he could play in London, but hopefully we have him ready to go after the bye. And Seth Roberts, Amari Cooper are currently in the concussion protocol. We think they're making progress. We'll have to update you next week. Obviously, we're still concerned. Derek Carr is sore, but we think he's going to be okay. And John Feliciano with his ribs is very sore. I think there's a chance we could get him back. And Marshawn Lynch, we are concerned about, has a groin strain. So there's a lengthy list of injuries, and we'll use the bye accordingly to get some men well. But I'll answer any questions I can.
Derrick Johnson, you had some high hopes for him when you guys brought him in. Is he physically not up to? Where did you see? Why did it not work out with him?
Well, he delivered some of the things that we wanted. Obviously, helping our young linebacking core, guys like Markel Lee and Nick Morrow, Jason Kabinda in particular. Kabinda had generated a lot of interest from other teams. We didn't want to lose him. It was a tough decision, and we got to try to improve our run defense. We're going to give Kabinda a shot.
Usually you're concerned about Marshawn. Is there any long-term concern or just...
We'll have to update you when we know more. He's going to be evaluated further. But, yeah, we're concerned about him, and we're also hopeful that we can continue to use him. We'll let you know next week.
How big a factor has Colton Miller's knee been with his play the past couple weeks?
I think a little bit. I think it's been a little bit of a factor. Brandon Parker missed all the preseason basically with an ankle sprain. He's just now getting healthy. So, I don't think either one of those guys were 100% in London. It's credit to them for going. Hopefully the bye week is at the right time for them.
Other than resting and hydrating and all the things you want these guys to do on the bye, what message do you leave them with their time off?
Well, I left them with a pretty clear message. I don't want to really, get any further into it with anybody else. I'll say this, we're not tanking anything. You know, I hear the hatred out there, some of the rumors that we're tanking it to get a first-round pick or a higher pick. You know, we're not getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to tank it. Ain't nobody tanking it. And I don't know who wrote that or who said that, who thinks that, but that ain't the case here. You know, we're going to continue to work hard, continue to build our team, and that was part of the message. All right.
Was the way that the law player too.
Yeah, we'll try to do that. There's no question. They got the opening kickoff. They ran it 7 straight plays to start the game. You know, they ran 8 minutes off the clock basically and scored a touchdown. They set a tone in that game. You know, we tried to run the ball ourselves. You know, it was a rainy night. It was in London. We were going to run our best back with our 3 best runs. We made 1 yard and 3 carries. So the physical part of it has to improve, and it's going to improve. And we're going to do everything we can on the practice field to improve. But it helps when you have healthy bodies. It helps when you have healthy linemen, certainly. And we'll try to get them healthy so we can do that.
How limited were you guys in the passing game because of the line on Sunday?
Well, I would say that, you know, it's obvious that it affected, you know, the ability to drop back and look around and throw the ball. We got to block better than that. We got to play better than that. And, you know, that certainly had an impact, no doubt.
When you look at Colton Miller's last 2 games, the sack totals seem high, but how much do you have to incorporate the fact that he's playing at far less than 100%?
Yeah, I think there's some of that. You know, again, I'm not reading, you know, the exact statistics, who's at fault for what sack. We've studied the tape. He was victimized by a hell of a rusher. That guy's a great player. We tried to send help when help was needed, and Clark's a great player. Hopefully the Pro Bowl voters notice that too. But his knee, I don't think is 100%, and I think the bye week is at a good time for him. And I'll reiterate, he's going to be a great player, and we're happy to have him.
John, are you happy with the effort across the board?
Yeah, I am. I'm very happy with the effort. I have no problems with the effort. Very happy.
Miller said his knee injury is similar to KO's. Is that a case where maybe he shouldn't be playing, or maybe KO should be playing, or are other injuries that similar to those 2 guys? Or?
We're doing the right thing. You know, we're doing the right thing, holding KO and playing Miller. But they're both, you know, fighting through, you know, some difficulties like a lot of guys do in this league. Hopefully we get KO back soon. That'll help our left tackle play better. He's missed the last 2 games, and just so happens that our left tackle has struggled a little bit. You know, when you're switching stunts and you're working combination blocks, it helps when you're working with one of the premier guards in all of football. I don't think you need to be a football scholar to know that, you know, there are a lot of things that go into the last 2 outings.
You said a couple weeks ago you regret Derrick throwing the interception in the end zone, but you don't regret the play call. Are there any decisions you regret in your 9 months here, or do you just?
Sure, I regret some. I mean, I got a list of things I regret. You know, I got a list of things. I'm sure you do too. Unless you're perfect. I mean, I don't know. I don't think any of us are perfect. We're trying. We're working hard. I'm not going to never throw the ball on 1st and goal again. You know, all my friends in the league do it. I don't really think it's living dangerously either, but when it's intercepted and it's ugly like it was, it's going to be magnified, and you just got to continue to go with your gut feeling, go with your preparation, be true to your gut, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. There are going to be some mistakes, and I'll take responsibility for all of them.
How much time during the bye week do you personally spend just diagnosing what's gone into the 1-5 start? And I guess as we say it right now, is there anything that you would point to that you feel like is at the top of the list of things that need to be sure?
Well, we're diagnosing everything, not only the plays we've called, the players we've used, the situations that we have had. We're still looking at the roster. You know, we're looking around the league to find means to get better. Reggie and I had a long meeting yesterday. I know that's a shock to some people. They don't think we have any meetings. I'm telling you, we're working hard to solidify this roster every day and improve ourselves and get the right people on the field. Those are decisions that we're looking at. We're going to continue to try to develop our young players, and we're going to stay on the gas pedal and go as hard as we can.
Do you anticipate more roster changes during the bye?
There's going to continue to be roster changes, certainly, on every team in the league. You know, that's just the way the league is, and players get hurt. We'll see what the medical report is when we return from the bye, and we'll go from there. But hopefully, Osemele, hopefully Joseph, hopefully Rucker, hopefully Feliciano and some of the others I mentioned are ready to go full tilt because we need them.
One player who seemed to be frustrated with his playing time in London was Rashawn Melvin. And I know that cornerback position has been rotation, but do you feel, is that something where you need to talk to him? I mean, have you talked to him about the roles there? And do you have?
I haven't talked to him yet, no. I'm sure I will. I know Paul Gunther did. I heard there was a Twitter report out there. Melvin's on his 7th team, I think. He's had different techniques. Maybe he's confused. I don't know. I'll talk to him. But he's got to play better. He's in a competitive situation. Perhaps he's frustrated, and I can't blame him.
Do you think of Worley's play against there's a few plays that he gave up, but his coverage was really tight. So at the same time, how do you assess the weight?
We really like Worley. We really like him. We feel like he's working himself really into a good rhythm. 2 of the passes that were caught down the field were spectacular throws and catches, and you can't really fault the coverage. You'd like to see him pry the ball out of there, and hopefully he'll do that the next time. But sometimes you got to tip your hat to the other guy. They got players too, and Wilson made 4 or 5 great throws, and his receivers made plays. But we like what Worley's doing, not only in coverage, but he's a good tackler. He's a reliable player, and he's doing well for us at right corner. We got to get Conley back, hopefully, after the bye. He's another guy, a young guy, that we want to see more of. I think you're going to see Nick Nelson soon, our 4th-round pick. So it's going to be even more competitive for snaps at the cornerback position.
Would you anticipate Nick Nelson competing more with Leon in the slot, or?
I think that's a great position for Nelson. I think he's got the traits.
Nick Nelson competing more with Leon in the slot, or?
I think that's a great position for Nelson. I think he's got the traits to be a really good nickel. And I think Leon Hall is one of the premier nickels in the last 10 or 11 years in football. So he's had a guy to watch. There will be some snaps for Hall inside. I think you'll see him step up and play a little bit at left corner as well, because he's got some range, he's got some versatility, and he's 100% healthy now, ready to go.
You talked about Melvin briefly. Generally, how do you see the morale in the locker room now? And is that a concern, or is that something that we tend to put too much?
No, I think Melvin has, is no different than a lot of guys. When you 3-putt a green, don't you throw the ball into the trap sometimes? I mean, when you lose a fish on the hook, don't you get ticked off? I mean, you handle adversity in sometimes in an emotional way. But Melvin's a good kid. He's a good kid. He's given us some good snaps. He's just in a competitive situation, and we're trying to help him improve. And that's all I can say. I like the morale on our team. They were in there lifting weights this morning, and we've got a good nucleus of people here. And I'll just let the Raider fans know out there, we're not very good in the one-loss column, and I don't know how it's going to go for the next 10 weeks, but we're working hard. We got a good group of guys, and they're going to be fun to watch.
The young defensive linemen that you've had, where have you seen growth? Have you seen some productive elements come from where they started to where they are now heading into the bye week?
Well, it's hard on them. It's hard on them. These are 3 rookie players. I don't know if there's 3 rookie D linemen or 2 rookie tackles playing this much on any other of the teams, but, physically it's a challenge. They're going up against full-grown men that are in their 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th years. They're in the trenches, and they're seeing schemes and combination blocks that are difficult to deal with. But I thought Hurst did a heck of a job recognizing the traps. I thought he got off blocks. I saw Key get his first sack. P.J. Hall is finally, I think, flying around like he did in training camp. So I think they're going to continue to get better. I know they got to prove that. But I'm excited about the rookie class. I've been accused my whole life of hating rookies and liking old players, and now I'm playing, I think, 10 rookies. So what do you say to that, America?
With your rookie kicker and punter?
Well, I'd like to get more confident. I'm not happy with the way Johnny is punted. I'm not mad at Johnny. I just, he's got to flip the field for us. We start every drive at our 20. We need to knock some of these teams back at their own 6, see how they like it. We got to flip the field. We got to win the field position battle. I'm tired of saying it. You get the football at your own 20, your own 12 every possession. It's ridiculous. We have got to do a better job, not only creating field position, but I think Townsend can be a much more explosive weapon for us. And I know he's got a new long snapper. I know the elements were different the other night. There are some things that he's dealing with. I mean, in his first game, Lee Smith snapped, an emergency snapper. Now he's got a new snapper. So he's going to be fine. Our kicker, we need better kickoffs. We need to get some touchbacks. I talked to Janikowski after the game. The damn guy's still getting touchbacks. We need touchbacks. So we got to improve. We're working hard at it, and that's all I can say.
Where have you seen the biggest improvement from Derrick's play from when you got him, and what are the areas, the next steps for him?
Well, Derrick and I had a long meeting already this morning, and look, the results, they need to improve. I know that, but he's the strength of this football team, and we're going to get him to play better. He's on my watch. I said it when I got here. If he doesn't play well, I failed. This guy's a good player that can be great, and we got to protect him better so we can really see what he can do. We got to protect him better, obviously, and if we do that, I think he'll showcase some of the things you saw earlier in the year. He was 29 for 32 at Denver, threw for 450 yards, come back to beat Cleveland. There's a lot to work with there. I'm excited about it.
You guys good?
You mentioned the first few running plays that you scripted without success in that game. I wonder, was any of that on Marshawn, or the holes just weren't there for him?
No, we didn't block him well enough. We missed a block on the backside. We missed a block on the play side. Look, Lynch has run well for us, and sometimes, when you play football, 10 guys do the right thing. But one guy misses a block, one guy's laid off the ball, one guy gets knocked backwards. Sometimes what could have been a good play turns into a 1-yard gain or a loss of 1. But we're going to continue to keep working, and we'll update you on the medical part of our team next week.
Just to clarify, back to Lynch's injury, is this something that you're fearing could be like longer term?
No, I just said he's got a groin that we're concerned about. He's going to be evaluated further. I don't want to say anything other than anytime a man like this is sore, I'm concerned. So we'll get him checked out, get it to you as soon as possible.
So here we are over the cap because of the recent news that we've heard. Derrick Johnson has been released. Now, I just want everybody to make mental notes of these numbers here. I might even just write it down. But our total cap liabilities is 175. What is it? 175,000. It's got to be 175,775,311. Our cap space, 6,407,866. Okay? This number right here really astounds me, especially with how bad they've been performing this year. 106,507,579. That's how much money we are spending on this lackluster offense that we're seeing this year. But I'm not here to cap on the offense right now. I'm not here to cap on the offense. I'm here to look at a certain individual named Derrick Johnson. Okay, so now that we're over here with Derrick Johnson, we're going to go over here to his cap. Now, it does say here that Derrick Johnson signed a $1.5 million contract with the Raiders on May 7th. Johnson received $500,000 in guarantees, including a $200,000 signing bonus. Another $750,000 in incentives are available. So here's where we find out. I don't know on whether this is updated or not, or whether that they have actually worked out a different style deal. But from the look of it, these numbers don't change. He gets $500,000 in guarantees, and we take a cap hit of $1,750,000. Now, if that is the truth, okay, $1,750,000 here, we're just going to type that in. I'm going to put that right here. Sorry about that. Just move this on over. That's one thing I hate about this shit. Alright. It's not going to let me scroll up, is it? Nope. All because I'm using that. So, I have to do this. I'll have to go back one. Because that's right, I don't remember that number. But now we can do it. Shorten this down some because that's really big for what I'm trying to do here. Alright, and then we just go ahead and take away from that. Which I can do that right here. So if this is actually correct, which, man, I'm hoping that we're not going to take that much of a cap hit. But it's very well a possibility. Because 6,407,866 minus 1,750,000 leaves us a grand total of, I'm going to put it big here, 4,657,866. I don't even think that came up. But that's exactly what it is 4,657,866. So that's going to be our total cap after letting Derrick Johnson go. If the figures on over the cap are correct. So isn't that something? We are in a complete rebuild. And even after the Khalil Mack trade, we're losing money. Could have swore that we saved $14 million. And then not only on top of that, but look, I mean, this is all the stuff that has to be paid out too. We still got to pay Marquette King $150,000, EJ Manuel $100,000. It's unbelievable. So on top of getting rid of Derrick Johnson and going over basically the moves that have been made this week, there's really not much to go over except for maybe critique a little bit about the press conference and then address a few rumors that are all over social media. For one, the only thing I can really say about the press conference is that he said that we were going to be exciting to watch later on this year. Well, we haven't been very exciting to watch the last couple weeks by being blown out. Now, the 3 weeks previous to that was they were quite exciting. As a matter of fact, we were calling them the cardiac team there for a minute because every single one of those games were really close. Ex-nay week 1, which actually was a lot closer than what the scoreboard seemed and what the scoreboard said, because of all those mishap interceptions and turnovers that happened there at the end of the fourth quarter in that game. But if I do have to critique anything about the press conference, that would be the one thing, is that he said that we were going to be exciting to watch. Well, I would like to see it, because the last 2 weeks has been absolutely terrible and horrifying to watch. As a matter of fact, how can you watch the game when your head is in your hands most of the damn game? Every time we've made a mistake. Every time something has happened. I don't see any adjustments made in the second half. And I would like to start seeing that. I'm pretty sure a lot of the Raider Nation would like to start seeing that. And, you're saying that you're not tanking the season, and you seemed very adamant when you said that you weren't tanking the season, but I'll be honest with you, actions speak louder than words. You know? Actions speak a lot louder than words. Because from the look of it, yeah, we're looking to get the first overall pick. And Derrick Carr is not he's not developing under your scheme. If anything, he's regressing. You know? I'm not sure if that's your fault or whether that's his fault, or whether you've taken all the wind out of the sails of the football team by getting rid of a lot of certain players, which is another thing that I want to touch on, which we'll just go ahead and move on to the trade rumors that Karl, Joseph, and Amari Cooper are on the trade block. I'm not going to sit there and harp about, oh, we shouldn't trade him because his production this year hasn't been very good, or vice versa. I'm going to actually talk about how at the beginning during the preseason and when you first came in as coach, you said you wanted to build this team around Amari Cooper and that he was going to be the focal point of our offense. And now here it is, week 6? Week 7? And we're getting ready to put him on the trade block and ship him out because he's going to possibly make up to an upwards of $17 million, or ask for up to an upwards of $17 million for next year for his new contract. So why are you lying to us, man? That's what I want to know. Every single damn thing that's come out of your mouth this season has been a goddamn lie. We're trying to keep Khalil Mack traded. Derrick Carr is a wonderful quarterback. He's going to thrive under this scheme. Worst touchdown to interception ratio of any quarterback in the league. Amari Cooper's our focal point of this offense. Amari Cooper's rumored to be traded. When is this going to stop? When are you going to stop lying to us? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm going to be bringing another episode at you this week. It's going to be on Game Day Sunday, and it's going to be a different format. It's going to, it's going to be two guys talking about the Raiders organization and what they've done, why we are where we are now, and it's going to be an interesting conversation. So I suggest that everybody tune in. But I'm going to go ahead and sign out of here, and Raider Nation for life.